Big game this weekend. Eagles-Saints.
Talked to Taysom Hill earlier this hour.
We did. Well, Eagles quarterback for that game, it's going to be Jalen Hurts. Doug Peterson's going with Jalen Hurts, benching Carson Wentz. He's going to be the backup now.
Okay, so there you go. And it is a pretty big assignment for Jalen Hurts. Has he ever played a game in the Superdome? I bet he has. I don't know why I can't. All these Alabama championship games have.
None of them really in New Orleans.
What has he played in the Sugar Bowl? Maybe.
Let me take a look.
I bet you he's played in Superdome before.
He's from Houston.
Here's the rub, okay, and it's a simple. I know the answer to it, but I'll ask it anyway, and it's low hanging fruit, but I'll pick it anyway. And that's not because I do that for a living. I don't like to hit the low-hanging fruit right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Tastes
good, though.
He was the MVP of the Sugar Bowl. He's played there before. He's got good memories. Tough assignment, as I said earlier in the first hour. Yeah. Taysom Hill, no matter how well he's playing, or Drew Brees is the GOAT, and Sean Payton is a mastermind on offense, and Michael Thomas caught 19 million footballs last year and 100 yards receiving last week, and Alvin Kamara is 100% owned in fantasy leagues for good reason. This is a defense-first team dressed up in offensive guru clothing. So good luck, Jalen Hurts, against this defensive line with that offensive line in front of you. But the low-hanging fruit is this, and the simple question is this. What took you so long? And I know the answer. It's finances.
$128 million.
Has to work out. They paid him an absurd amount of money. If Jalen Hurts balls out, doesn't even have to beat New Orleans, but balls out enough that you have to stick with him. If he comes close, if it's a near miss, if he doesn't.
Yeah, what are you going to go back?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't sit here and say, thanks for that one. Let's go back to Carson Wentz now against at Arizona, at Dallas, home for Washington. I mean, don't you need to give him a few games here? But what took you so long? And I don't know what's going on in the front office. I don't know what's going on with Howie Roseman or Jeffrey Lurie, if he's pissed at everybody and this comes down from on high, or Peterson said earlier this week yesterday when he said, I haven't made a decision yet. And as Peter King pointed out on Monday, saying when a coach says, I haven't made a decision yet on Monday, it usually means he's going in the direction of the new quarterback, and that happened. And I don't know. Peterson said that it was his decision. It was going to be his decision only, and we assume maybe this is. And what took him so long? You got to see what this guy can do. And he is a dog, to use the phrase, of the new millennium. That's what he said he wanted to be for whichever team drafted him when we had him on this show pre-draft. When he said that I have been through a lot, I want to lead. That's what I do. That's what he did in Alabama. He was stripped of his power by one of the most powerful coaches of all time, selecting a worthy successor, to say the least, in Tua. That's what happened when he went to Oklahoma, following up Baker Mayfield's seasons with Kyler Murray, following up with him. Strolled into a new place and was terrific there. Looked terrific. Second overall selection in a spot that just would not turn him. Well, now it's finally his turn. And I think he's ready for it. I really believe it. I believe in this kid. And if you can't block, get somebody who's going to run away. And Wentz, and Wentz has escapability too. I know it, but
yeah, but he's been sacked almost 50 times.
It's time. It was time.
Weeks ago.
All right, let me just do this. Again, I'm not there. I'm not the coach. I'm not seeing what's going on in practice. I'm not the general manager who, with ownership's blessing and coach's blessing, signed Carson Wentz to a gajillion-dollar contract that they cannot get out of right now. And, after they lost to the Giants, maybe that could have been it, right? Losing in Cleveland. I mean, the Seattle game looked terrible.
Seattle, yeah, for sure.
I mean, even early on in the season, it's still too early when they were still in first place to do it. I get it, but This thing seems like we're a month too late, and I think they're going to look. This is the reason why I said they should have done this earlier. The worst case scenario is you got a $20-some-odd million backup who in this league invariably is going to get in there. Look at Ryan Fitzpatrick. He was gutted when he lost his job, wound up getting some starts that are important, and I bet he might again. Drew Bledsoe, the year Mo Lewis blew up his innards, who won the AFC Championship to put the Patriots in that Super Bowl that Brady won.
Rich.
Drew Bledsoe. Hold on. I mean, I could keep going on and on and on here about guys that lose their jobs and then come back and have to play important roles because that's the way it goes in the NFL. So that's the worst case scenario. Hurts balls out, and then suddenly Peterson has a decision to make, or a new coach does. Because it's just not looking very good there.
I'm wondering if this kind of shields Doug Peterson from being fired, though. I mean,
don't know.
If he sticks with Hurts and it just, they lose out, then you get rid of him. But then he's, his reasoning now is, hey, look, I gave the kid 4 games. Let me work with him. Let me develop him.
The rumor mill is churning. Every day I hear Peterson's out. Peterson's not going anywhere. Every day. One or the other.
Yeah.
I hear Peterson is definitely out. Look at him. Places that I've heard mentioned are still places that haven't fired coaches yet.
Right.
Or, no, they're not going to let him go. They'd be crazy to let him go. They're not going to let him go.
No, they won a Super Bowl.
Honestly, I'm hearing all of that. I have no earthly idea.
Tough start, though, for Hurts, too. Saints #1 overall D, 2 against the run, 4 against the pass.
And you know what the worst problem could be for the Eagles? And this is where they did this too late, is the Giants and the Washington football team have caught fire.
Yeah.
Giants and the Washington football team, if you look at the NFC standings right now and all the teams that are sniffing it, all the teams that are in the wild card chase, they're playing better than them. Are the Giants and Washington football team playing more consistent football than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Yeah, they are. Are they playing more consistent football than the Seattle Seahawks? They are. How about the Arizona Cardinals, Minnesota Vikings? Oh, yeah. That's the problem for these Eagles with Jalen Hurts. You were in first place when you could have made this decision and caught fire and made sure the Giants and the Washington football team were in your rearview mirror. Not now. Not now. And Jalen Hurts, you pulled a trigger on the week where you're going to New Orleans? Wow.
Not easy.
Unfortunately, it's like, I think this is past the expiration date, but you never know. You never know, especially when Philadelphia does finish up the season against the Washington football team. Could come down to that if the Giants falter. And you look at the Giants, next 4 games, there's some winnable games. Arizona comes to their house. How great is Giants hosting Cleveland going to be? Week 15. Nobody had that one circled.
No,
I'm circling it right now. How about Giants at Baltimore? The way that they have bottled up Russ last week, and they probably have the same game plan for Kyler this week. Now it's Lamar in Week 16. Mm-hmm. And then they finish up the Giants against Dallas at home. These are the teams that Philadelphia is going to have to leapfrog to get in with Jalen Hurts. I think it's this might, if you will, hurts, but it might be too late. But you never know. Happened. Wow. Carson Wentz benched. Had to do it. I mean,
had to do it.
You saw it with your own 2 eyes. It was tough to watch, man. Tough to watch. And Hurts came in and he gave him a breath of fresh air. He found Jalen Reagor.
Made a great throw on that touchdown.
I mean, which is something that the Eagles fans have been dying to see all year. I know he was banged up. And Justin Jefferson's been killing it. That kid was on the board. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.